Whoa, I'm so glad you told me of the upcoming disaster, Lord Raiden. Yes, now we must go and warn your fellow survivors who look like Yitong from Love Is All Around to Sun Yanqing, who appears in those many strange games like Sovereign Brain Empire that make Outworld seem like an orderly place. Sorry, and we must not forget Lu Lanyu, who was that helpful student in Game of Fate 1, and hey, where are you going? On second thought, I got a boat ride to catch. Bye! Oh, wow, I'm glad that didn't happen in Mortal Kombat lore. Hello everyone, Rain here, the director for Knowledge or No Lady, the Love Is All Around 2 Naraka Blade Point collaboration mini interactive video, and the upcoming Love Is All Around 2 Bai Yingxiong is working on a new romance FMV game called Beauties for Help on the Island, and features a male protagonist having to survive together on a deserted island with 6 other women after surviving a cruise ship sinking, played by some familiar faces. Thanks to the character bios in the casting call, various photos and videos, we have some more information despite the absence of an official trailer. Just as a heads up, the casting call was really blurry, and despite using some AI magic to upscale the image and rereading the text several times, there are some words I was not able to tell what it was and therefore couldn't translate it, which I've indicated in the relevant sections just so that's completely upfront and honest with you all. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Firstly, we have Anqi, played by Yitong, who we have seen as Sila in the Love Is All Around 2 Naraka Blade Point collaboration video, and as Princess Lu Mingyue in the upcoming Love Is All Around 2. Her bio describes her as a second-generation rich girl who is possibly searching for the meaning of life. She has a sunshine personality and possibly is a worry-free type. She is also a university student who has never been in a romantic relationship before. A looker like that sweet smile that's admittedly making me swoon a bit. Yeah, a little hard to believe she never had a boyfriend. Anyway, we can see in this other photo that Anqi holding what looks like a handmade bracelet. I think this was made for the male protagonist by her because it looks a bit too big for her wrist. Based on her bio, my guess is that her character arc will involve finding her direction in life, alongside where does the male protagonist exactly fit into that. Secondly, there's Yourong, played by Lu Lanyu, who I think many of us will recognize as Qiu Shuya from Game of Fate 1. Yourong is an influencer with an attractive physique. She's talented, accomplished, and is willing to either beat up or take charge of guys. Wow, pretty much the opposite of Qiu Shuya, isn't it? The bio ends by stating that she doesn't trust the romantic intentions from men, suggesting that this would be a significant part of her character arc and interactions with the protagonist. Next up, there's Feng Huanhuan, played by actress Yanran, aka... Sorry, not that Nico. I'm serious, she picked the name Nico, as you can see in this interview for Huanhu Poems.
大家好，我是云狗的扮演者 Nico， 这里有我的签名照哦。他不是 Nico， 他是狐狸。
Anyway, Feng Huanhuan's bio describes her as a medical staff who's petite, but pure and warm-hearted. She's incredibly empathetic, and her thoughts are most likely very respectful of others. Fourthly, there's Wanqing, portrayed by car model Chen, and is a domineering or overbearing female boss. Her boldness is contrasted with a strong image created through her emotional indifference and good management capability. Of the love interest, we see her outfits change the most in the release photos so far, from a torn businesswoman outfit with a full blazer to one where the blazer is removed with a torn blouse covered by an unbuttoned full sleeve shirt, and eventually something along the lines of the heart of darkness. Okay, maybe nothing that intense, but more like Yourong from the Dynasty Warriors series. My guess is that a romance with her would involve warming up to her and getting her to be more open to the male protagonist. Coming up next, we have Chen Qiyue, played by Sun Yanqing, a familiar face especially for those of you who have played Mountain and Sea Studio games like Super Scout and Sovereign Brain Empire, which are wonderfully complex. You know what, I can't read the marketing department line. The games are just so quirky and weird. In fact, when Beauties for Help on the Island was first shared on Baidu forums, Sun Yanqing's previous roles in Super Scout and Sovereign Brain Empire made her synonymous with Mountain and Sea Studios that made netizens react very calmly like, "This isn't a new game by the Super Scout developers, right?" Once you said that, my desire to search further on this game vanished. Mountain and Sea Studio have dragged me into darkness. Mountain and Sea Studio, run.
Mountain and Sea Studio? Does Sun Yanqing have some sort of favor with this developer?
It took about 14 posts, but finally Baidu forum user unknown in the world clarified the matter. Chen Qiyue is described as an older lady who is agile and swift-footed, but her interests and temperament reflect concerns towards herself. The bio goes on to say that she bears a hatred or grudge towards men, which I think will be a part of her backstory explored in the game, and likely be a big part of the romance between her and the male protagonist. In this other photo of her, we can see Chen Qiyue exploring what looks like a cave, hinting there will be other locations beyond the beach and grassland areas we have seen in most of the photos. Last but not least, we have Sunday, portrayed by Tao Zi, previously seen as Zhao Jinghua in Proud to Love, which is... well, let's hope this game will be more successful. Her bio describes her having a voice that is contrasted with a fiery and straightforward personality. She doesn't know how to speak, but only knows how to interact with pure and simple actions. Based on her outfit and the bio, I believe Sunday is an indigenous person to the island the characters find themselves stranded on. Sunday is most likely a hunter because we see her wielding this makeshift spear in two photos. And based on this photo, along with the brief mention of a tree alongside other untranslatable parts in her bio, I believe Sunday is a good tree climber. In most of the photos, we can see Sunday with this collar device, which my guess is that it's some sort of translation or audio device, because we know from the character bio she doesn't know how to speak. Interestingly, she's not wearing that collar device in this photo, so perhaps this is an earlier scene, or maybe one where the protagonist and Sunday spend time together without the collar device. We can see her here with a unique animal skull headpiece and noticeably with more face paint on her chin and around her eyes. Maybe Sunday is not the only indigenous islander, so perhaps this is for a ceremony of some kind, but we'll have to wait and see. In the various photos, we can see the survivors' campsite become more elaborate with an area to cook fish, a table, reused plastic containers, and presumably individual shelters. So I believe that choices will involve spending time developing the survivors' campsite with particular love interests. The next big question is, when will Beauties for Help on the Island be coming out? We know that the game is either still being filmed or is wrapping up because of live stream details from Yitong.
但我跟你们播不了多久，马上要走了，我要去拍了。
再留一
当队长
说的吗？就是肥润了很多。我们在这个点拍到29号，然后29号之后就转场去另外一个村子。反正整个周期我应该还剩14天。干吧，都有我们吗？不干吧，去拍路。
Based on that, I would guess that the game would need around 2 to 3 months of post-production work like editing and music. Plus it would need to be submitted to Steam for approval, and there needs to be time also for a marketing campaign, so probably somewhere maybe between September and December 2025 perhaps. But hey, I wouldn't complain if it comes out earlier. Once there's more news like a teaser trailer, I'll be sure to cover that. Thanks a lot everyone for your support and take care.